Okay, so odd. It's a beautiful day outside, like t-shirt weather and everything here in Missouri, which is so weird. It's so weird because there's snow on the ground. They're like 3 days ago. We went through a huge cold spell where it got down to like -3 here in Missouri. You got the chickens, they're doing good. They made it through it. But I am doing this video right now because we'll get over to the goats here in a second. Me and Esther's about to have to do some stuff to the goat barn or the kidding pen because Dolly, we checked her ligaments yesterday and they were still like the size of a pencil. Just checked them and they're not there anymore. So she could have babies tonight. But this gate used to be the gate that was on the kidding pen. So we need to put this gate on the kidding pen and get old mama moved in here. This whole area probably looks different. We cleaned this up yesterday. It was cold and nasty. So we were like, we didn't video it. It was just clean up. We did clean out the 2 huts for the goats, and I threw that on the compost, which is full. So now I gotta wait until that compost down before I can clean the goat pen out again. Big things are gonna be coming with the goat pen. Gonna get a little bigger. Gonna move because it's like the house is here. There's the goat pen. It's going to move down on the other side of that boat. So I'm gonna build a 50 by 50 goat pen with a lean-to barn. It's gonna be a lot like our outdoor kitchen over here, but it's gonna be closed and on like 3.5 sides so they can get up in there. Big things on the garden happen. Well, not big things, I guess, because it's not gardening season yet. I spread some wood ash on the garden. We did 2 more potato towers. So I will get back with you guys here in a minute when Esther gets out here, and we're putting that gate on and bedding for babies, hopefully. So we'll see, but I'll talk to you guys here in a little bit. Esther's getting nails. You coming or not? She is way overstimulated with you today. And my lips are chapped. Yeah, it'll work. It'll work good enough. It'll work good enough. Okay. Terrible design on our part and should have got fixed before this litter because it's a pain in the butt. Here, show them the bad design here.
So here's the door, and
the only door
to this.
So when you want to get in there, you have to crawl in there.
Yeah,
Our plan was after Granny had her babies, we were gonna turn this side into a whole door with a flap on the bottom. And as you can see, Homestead got a hold of us, and that did not get done.
No.
We're like, oh yeah, we'll have a door on it by the next set of babies, by the time the other ones have babies.
Well, we did some calculating, and after Granny had hers, we got really distracted with bottle feeding her baby because, as we all know, she did not end up being a good mom in the cold weather. And then just a few days ago, I did some calculations and realized that we were a lot closer to the due date of Dolly babies than we thought we were. So yeah, it just never got done. I literally just have to... You just gotta crawl in here.
I just don't realize I can do something to help you.
says he can help me. Okay. Okay. Oh my god. Are you okay? Okay. I didn't know if I like needed to hurry.
Like, just the goats that I wanted to see.
How does she feel?
They're gone.
Yeah, I know. I felt them earlier. Oh my gosh, look at her. Yeah, she's like ready. Oh, get in there, mama.
This is her first set, so I mean, I don't really know. We'll just use this.
Okay.
This shouldn't be in there, but less than a little while. We only use this one. It's
Freezing anyways.
freezing anyway. There's no frost. So. Since it is warmer, I guess we can tie the flap up for cold weather.
Yeah, we put that flap on there because it was 14 degrees out. And as you can tell by the fact that we're wearing t-shirts, it's nice out today. And it's supposed to get even nicer throughout the next few days, so.
Here's some water. Oh, we don't need this, so we'll tie it up. The best we can. Hi, Mama. We'll go in there.
Maybe just tie it to that.
Let's hook it to here. We had this because it was super cold. Goats are kind of our thing. We want to breed like some high quality goats. We don't want to just do some bum whatever it is. Because we want good milk production and good babies. You reckon this will fit this little board well?
Maybe.
Maybe. I'll give her a little boost with some grain.
Me too.
She is going in right now. It will help her a little bit. I know she's not in labor right now.
No, ma'am.
You clumsy. I gave her about half. So, kind of excited to see
What the babies look like.
in milk.
Oh, I'm definitely excited for
Because
the
she's La Mancha
Uh-huh.
mixed with a Nigerian dwarf. She's already back. A little hay feeder for her in there. I got some bolt cutters over here to put that cow panel. Currently don't have a barn, but that is actually coming.
That is part of the future plans.
It's coming it's in the talks. Talking. Welcome to one of my many jungle battles that make my property look junky. But it's for these reasons that I have these. Take a little square like this. We will, I guess we could put this on the door. Oh, this is stuff that we should have done before we needed to do it. But I guess that's part of it.
It was part of the plans to do it this weekend, just
We wasn't expecting to.
be doing it with her in there. How rude.
Alright. Just gonna set this here. That's your baby. Quit being a jerk. Goats are mean. So if you're just now getting into goats, you're like, oh my gosh, the goats are so mean to each other. Yup. They are. There's a pecking order, and it starts from birth. They will be mean to babies. And they're not mean goats. They're just... That's how it is. There's a pecking order between everybody. And everybody, the leader, even the babies, abide by that leader. But the best part about having this is I can pinch my hay and she'll have to pull it out of there. So it doesn't just fall everywhere on the ground. And in my opinion, that's a better hay feeder than I can go buy. And of course, if you have goats or any animal and you're feeding hay, it always somehow ends up in the water. You stay in, you come out. Alright, harvest some babies.
Guys,
You got water, you had grain, you got hay.
and you got bedding in there.
Yep, got bedding.
She's good at escaping. You used the clip.
I did use the clip.
Did you not realize she can go through that fence?
No, I did, but she hadn't figured out that it wasn't there until she just did.
Yeah.
And this is why, with the new goat pen that I was talking about earlier, the wire is going to be like this wire, but not this cheap garden
It's gonna
wire.
be the stuff that's on hers.
Yes, we'll go show.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, they call it no climb horse fencing because I don't understand why. But it's this stuff. It's 2x4 woven wire. Our whole goat pen's gonna be this good stuff here. But that's all for now. We'll get back with you if they're having any updates. Esther probably will, but she's the goat lady. But great hay feeder idea. If you was needing a little hay feeder, just grab you some cattle panels, wire it to your fence, and you don't have to use the bungee cord. But I mean, with the bungee cord, like I said, it does sandwich your hay, so she can just easily peel this out of the big squares, but it doesn't just fall. Like if you'll see theirs, their feeder is just open and loose, and you see all this hay is from where they pull a mouthful, but a big mouthful comes out and they drop 50% of it, and then it just builds up and builds up and builds up, and it's a pain. But that is a pretty good hay feeder. It is different because we have done both. We have done round bells and we have done square bells. And with round bells, we normally just take some off and fill that feeder versus take a couple flakes and fill that feeder. With square, not as much, they don't waste as much because that square, it comes off in flakes and it's compacted. So it kind of works the same way. They kind of pull some off, but when you rake it off of a round bell, it's now just a loose pile, and they'll pull it and it'll just, stuff will just fall out as they pull hay, and there's a lot more waste. Which, bang for buck, I prefer square. It's more expensive for square, but it really isn't because they don't waste as much. Where round bells, technically you get more hay, but more is wasted, so your feed conversion isn't as good. Our goats may just be messy, but I don't know, about every goat I've been around does that, and there's gonna be hay waste between
Both.
either one, whether you do square or whether you do round. It's just finding something that is less to get your bang for your buck, you know. This is for the pantry. That video will be coming out. We're gonna do one big video of building the pantry together. And then I do have sheet metal that when we build the goat pen, that will be a video. And then probably the little pole barn lean-to will be its own video. We're gonna build a lean-to barn, kind of like a pole barn. We're gonna do like 4x4 posts and a roof. And then the sides, I'm not sure if I want to do full sides or halves. Halves are nice. And then in the winter, you can always have a tarp laying around that if it gets cold and the wind starts ripping through there, you can tarp it. Once they're full sides in the summer, when the summers around here get super, super hot, you got solid sides in there, not gonna wanna be in there, versus you can take that tarp off, have wind and everything that comes in there, but still have a nice dry place for them to be in the winter. Like I said, you can wrap it in a tarp and they can be warm out of the wind.
Hi guys. So I just wanted to hop on here and give you guys a little update. Unfortunately, it's not a good one. She did have her babies, and turns out we were a little off on our calculations. She was about 2 weeks early. So the babies were born prematurely, and although 2 weeks doesn't sound like much, it did unfortunately result in them passing away. One of them was stillborn, and the other one lived, but only for like 2 days. And so that really sucks. I mean, we've since then kind of had a lot of discussions about the possibility of it being a genetic problem, because we lost 6 babies this year, and they all had the same Billy for a dad. We'll talk about that more in next week's video, but for now, she had them on Tuesday. It's Monday now, so it's almost been a week. Tomorrow makes a week since she had her babies. There's some new updates coming next week. We have a whole video about it, so we'll talk more about it then. Fortunately, some happy things to be talking about. But for right now, Dolly's doing good. She just, her babies didn't make it, but we decided to continue to milk her, and she's producing a good amount for this stage. So I'm just hoping to continue milking her and hoping that her milk production continues to grow, because it's getting better. I did end up finishing milking out her colostrum and saving it, because if we ever do have problems with mamas or babies in the future, I would like to have some way of saving them rather than just unfortunately losing them. We did try our best with they were little boys. With the little one that did survive a night, we did try our best. We kept him on a heating pad. I milked out the colostrum. We know that she's a good mama now, because she tried her best too. I mean, I gotta give her that. She was licking on him, loving on him, cuddling with him, trying to keep him warm. She was trying to feed him. Every time that he couldn't even stand up, so every time I would hold him up to stand up and try to nurse, even though he wasn't really even trying very hard to eat, she would just like stand 100% still and was like so willing to let him try to nurse. And it was just so sad that, especially for her, that he didn't make it. But we will try again, and I'm not gonna say anything more about that because that's for next week's video. But I will end on a good note, saying that we do have some exciting things coming on, and I am sorry for such a disappointing ending to this week's video. Totally sucks. But that's part of farm life too, is, you know, we gotta be raw and real with you guys, and that's part of it. Is you're gonna have a lot of failure, and it's gonna suck a lot of the times, and it's gonna be depressing and sad, but you just gotta keep trying, and one day it'll all work out, and you'll finally get whatever it is you're working towards, whether that's your baby goats that actually make it, or loaf of sourdough bread that actually rises. We'll get there one day. For now, we'll see you guys